everybody. We're back with a brand new week here in the Cabral Concept. As always, this is our Mindset and Motivation Monday. My favorite way to start the week. Love being able to, before we dive into all the science and the longevity and high performance health, etc., it's always great to recenter the mind and body to start the week. It is a brand new week. It's a fresh start for all of us, no matter what happened over the weekend or last week. This truly is a fresh start. And what I wanted to share over this week and next was actually 10 ways to detox your mind. Now, I always love, as I said, giving credit where credit's due. I read at least a couple books every single week, and I've read thousands of books since I really got into this natural health field around 18, 19 years old. And so what I like to do, again, is always give credit where it is due. And I read an amazing post, but I can't find who to give credit to. So if you know who wrote this post, because it's directly from a book, this was snapshotted from a book, let me know who it's from in the comments. All I have is it's called How to Detox Your Mind. But when I was reading it, I said, this is a perfect summary of a lot of the topics that we talk about here on our Mindset and Motivation Mondays. So today I'm going to take you through a big 5 right now, and then the second 5 that I read in this particular book. So let's get right into it. The first and foremost, or at least to get started, is when you feel mentally overloaded, it is time to free up your mind. Now, I'm gonna paraphrase all of what this book says, but this is how I look at it. This is how I use it, at least in my own brain. I try to teach it to my daughters, and certainly it's what I teach in my private practice. But when you're feeling overwhelmed, like I've got right here, my journal. And so if you're watching this on video, this is it right here. This is my moleskin journal. I write ideas in it. I write thoughts in it. I write down problems that I'm trying to solve, whatever it might be, because I found over the years is that if you keep all of this open, it's like spinning pinwheels on your computer. It's just internet tabs left over, and it really reduces your bandwidth. So if I don't do this, I'm going to bring it to bed with me essentially at night, and I won't be able to sleep. So if there's anything kind of tagging along with me, I write it down, and that allows me to free it up in my brain. If I wrote it down, my brain knows like, hey, you don't need to remember this. You don't need to worry about it. You'll come back and solve it or do it later. And that's the great thing about a to-do list. Now, you don't want a 1,000,000-mile long to-do list, but you want to just write down and don't let these thoughts essentially crowd up your brain. So journaling, or sometimes people call it a brain dump. It's like everything that's going on, you just write and write and write, and then keep writing, then think for a few moments and write a little bit more until it's all out. I'm telling you right now, it works. It really does. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is this: when you can't stop overthinking, right? So not mentally overloaded that we just spoke about before, but overthinking. It's basically like ruminating on one thing. So, I could go through so many different individual things in my own life and what I see in my private practice, but, let's just go over one. So if you've been worried about, I really don't want to start that, let's just say functional medicine detox, or I don't want to start that exercise plan, or, whatever the next health thing is, the very best thing that you can do is just let yourself say, you know what, I'm not going to do it perfect this time. Like, I'm not going to do it perfect, but instead of just thinking about it over and over and over, let me just get started. Even if it's not that great, even if I have to stop tomorrow, no big deal. You can see that little painting behind me. It says not today. One of my favorite things. I did a whole podcast on this. I'll try to link it up. Today's episode 3552. So if you go to stephencabral.com/3552, I'll try to link up that show. But it's one of my favorites. I mean, obviously I had a painting made just for it. And I said this, is that no day is ever going to be perfect, but you're just not going to give up today. Just not today. You're not going to let them, whoever they are, right, get to you today. You're not going to give up on your to-do list today. You're not going to shirk your responsibilities today. Maybe tomorrow. Like maybe tomorrow you will, and that's okay. Let yourself off the hook tomorrow. But every day we wake up and it's what? It's today, right? We live in the perpetual now. So the amazing thing is this: just get started, and get started with imperfect action. That's what it's all about. Just start. That's honestly what matters whenever I'm overwhelmed. Perfect example. My book is almost done. It's being edited right now. And I'm like, I don't want to let it go. Like same thing happened with the rain barrel effect. I don't want it to be done because you know what? There's always more I could do. There's always more I could say. There's always maybe a different way. I want to be able to make sure that people get the most out of it. But here's the thing. You just work on it. You don't worry about it. You set a deadline and you have to let it go. All right. Number 3 is when you have too many priorities. This is an amazing quote. This is the quote. If everything is important, nothing is. I've seen that, I don't know, at least 24 times before. And every time I see it, it's like the first time I saw it. It's like every couple of months, you just kind of see it. Oh, if everything is important, nothing is. And that's because, think of it this way. If you have 50 things to do, 50 important things, how many are you going to get done? None. Because there's no way to figure out 50 important things in your life. There really isn't. I mean, so one of the most amazing things that any founder of a company will tell you, you can't get everything done yourself. It's not possible. Like even back in the day, or I'm not willing to do it anymore, but back in the day, from call it what, 27 years old to 37 years old, that's about right. Yeah. I worked all the hours, right? Like all the hours. That was it. And I still didn't get everything done in a day and couldn't get everything done in a day. And it was during those years, though, that I just continued to hire more good people and understand what it was like to build a team. Now we have over 100 people on the team, and it's incredible. You know why? Because all of those people, it's not even just the amount of work we can all do, it's the collective energy that goes into it. So what I'm telling you, though, for your own priority list is this. You can't focus on more than 1 to 2 things. And over the years, I've honestly found that, because I used to have like this is what I want to do in this year of my life, no, 1 or 2 things every 90 days. That's it. No, you don't let the rest of your life go. So the goal is to build off of what you've already accomplished each 90 days, right? So all I try to do is say, what's the one thing, maybe 2, 1A, 1B, that I have to get done over the next 90 days? Like, what is it? Okay, that's the priority, because you can't do a million things. Even if you want to do them all, I get it, me too. But just choose 1 or 2 so that at least 2 get done instead of none. All right, number 4 is this: feeling behind in life. Another great quote. I actually hadn't seen it like this before. Your pace isn't their race. Your pace isn't their race. Stop comparing your timeline to others. Mental clutter often begins when comparison creeps in. Walk your path, not theirs. That's a direct quote from this book. And again, I wish I could give you the exact book. It might be called How to Detox Your Mind, honestly. All right, so here's the thing. This is fascinating because many of us don't even get started because we're comparing ourselves to others. We think there's no way I can ever do what they do. There's no way I could ever learn and have that much knowledge. There's no way I could ever be that polished on an Instagram video, YouTube video, whatever it might be. But what we're not understanding is that they went through their learning phase. They went through their awkward phase. Everybody does. There's videos still from me from 2007 on YouTube. Again, one of my biggest regrets is not starting my own channel on YouTube in 2007, because I would get to chat and really talk with so many more people had I done that. But instead I was on other people's channels. That's okay. As the resident, I'm putting that in air quotes, fitness expert. And of course I loved it. It was great, but it was awkward. Like I was just, hey, do you want to shoot videos teaching us, exercise programming and all sorts of different tips and tricks? Sure. Happy to do it. Yeah. Just figured it out. Right. So the thing is though, if I ever watched other people's videos, which I did, and I'm kind of notorious for not doing that, is not being involved in all of it, I would have compared myself to like, oh, that person's just so much better. And it might stop me from doing what I'm doing when I just need to move at my pace. I was made like me, and not like anybody else on purpose, right? So all I can be is me. And I'm going to move at my pace. I'm not going to let myself off the hook. I still need to continue to move forward and better my best. But I'm not trying to better anybody else's best. I'm just trying to better my best. If someone doesn't like me, my style, my knowledge base, the way that I help clients and try to help our community, that's okay. But they're looking at it from their perspective, right? Like that's just the way that it is. They're not me. They weren't meant to be me. They were meant to be them, right? So all I can be is me, try to do good in this world, try to be of service to others, provide for my family, help, guide them as best as I can, especially my daughters with my wife. And that's the way that it is. That's the best that we can do. We're on our own path. All right. That was number 4. The last one for this week is when you are struggling to relax and just calm that brain and just take an hour off, which honestly I can do as well. I am absolutely subject to this. But we have to remember that rest can be productive too. And every time I've heard this, I've talked about it with, I teach it, right? I teach this as well. But here's the thing. I look back in my life to a lot of times that I was actually training for fitness-based events. or I was deep in writing and just away from everything. Like I delegated to amazing managers that I had and amazing people that I have on my team. And I was able to kind of say, I'm going to dial in for this sprint triathlon. I'm going to, train a little bit extra, or I'm just going to read and research and write for a period of whatever time. Almost always, I worked a little bit less, but more got done. And it's fascinating when you look at that. And although I don't think I have all the answers for this, what I can say is that you think with a greater degree of clarity when you get some rest, and therefore you probably just make better decisions which enable you to get to your goals faster. That's really how I looked at it, because I absolutely prioritize sleep. I get 8 hours of sleep a night. No doubt about it. Like, is every night perfect? No, I always say that 27, 28 nights a month are great out of 30 nights. Like that's essentially how I try to do it for my clients, myself. For example, I just had to travel last Tuesday, and I slept in a hotel room. They had like a million blinking lights in the hotel room, put my eye mask on that I travel with, all that. But it was just one of those nights. Only got 6.5 hours sleep. Not the best, right? But it's okay, because you're not looking to be perfect. You're honestly just looking to do the best you can in that given day. But in terms of rest, I do feel that getting your sleep as much as you can, as many nights as possible, by getting in some exercise, by calming that central nervous system, you just see things more clearly. You're not in a perpetual state of overwhelm, of anxiety, of feelings of struggle and setback, right? You don't feel you're always behind. And when you take that deep breath, you can be like, oh, yeah. I also believe it's a different energy set. If you're not anxious and worried, but instead more cool, calm, and collected, which of course we would all love to be, you feel a little bit more confident. And you resonate also with that vibration. And even though I am deep science-based, I believe in the energy of vibration because it's also science. And so I just try to weigh the both, but I do believe what you resonate with, you get more of. And so anytime you're just feeling like I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed, it's going to be productive, honestly, to take the rest of the night off, to just relax, go for a walk, have a nice meal, talk with somebody you enjoy, get a good night's sleep. There's always tomorrow, right? That's how I look at it. Hopefully today's show was helpful. I want to bring you 5 more to round out this top 10 next Monday. Don't miss it. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. And of course, share the show with anyone you believe it could serve.